Don't fuck up, he says with a different microphone. Don't fuck yourself, he says, hoping that it's all going to work. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Rude Cooking School podcast. I'm your host, after a long month, John Houser III. And with me is Big McLarge Huge.
Oh yeah. Big McLarge Huge. Soren Markwart. I don't know if you're a fan of Mystery Science Theater 3000 or not,
I
but
am. Is that what that's from?
yes, yep.
Okay. I
Yeah,
didn't
I,
get the
I
reference,
actually had
but I
a
thought it
D&D character for a while that was named Blast Hard Cheese.
was Oh, that's awesome. It's good to be
Yeah, me and
back.
my dad once Comedy Central became a thing when I was younger, and they started running Mystery Science Theater 3000. My
Oh,
dad
yeah.
and I would sit in the living room and just cackle for
Well,
hours watching that show.
they brought it back, and they have like a couple episodes on Netflix, I think, or something.
Oh yeah,
And
they do because I subjected my children to it.
yeah, with Jonah Ray, and Crosby and I watched it. And he thought it was the funniest thing in the world. We watched Mac and Me, and he was like, "This is the worst movie I've ever seen." And I'm
Oh,
like, "Yeah, but like, it's funny what they're saying, right?" And he's like, "Oh yeah, that's what makes it great." I'm like, "Okay, you get the show."
see, that was me in high school. I was the same guy. Like when we watch a movie in class, I would talk over it the entire
Oh
time,
yeah, me too.
thrown
Yeah,
out in the hallway, and.
I
But I
feel
always had to
bad
have
for
some kind of
people. Yeah,
commentary.
yeah. It's really funny because like he got it, and I'm like, okay, cool, because he's just that kid. Like his one of his favorite movies ever is my Holy Grail, right? So
Oh
he
yeah.
he gets the nerdiness of all of it.
That
So
means we're good parents.
yeah, yeah, I like to
Yeah,
think
because the
so.
same with my kids.
Um, so it's been a while. It's been a month. Um, I was going to just take a week off because my son had graduated eighth grade, and it was within a span of a week. My son graduated eighth grade. It was my birthday, and it was Father's Day. I was like, you know what? I'm just going to give myself a day off. And then on Father's Day, my basement flooded, and we had to rip everything out of the basement. And it's been trying to get back. We tried to do it last week, and it didn't work. My laptop is set for different settings for different mics and setups, and it wasn't working. And the more I was frustrated, the more I drank, and the more I drank, the more frustrated I got. And then I said, "Fuck this bullshit! I'm not doing it." And Soren was having mic issues too,
Oh Lord, yeah. Oh,
and we were both just like
the
God
fates
damn
were
it!
not the fates
No,
were not smiling on us
it,
last week.
it,
So
didn't want us to come back at all. So if we do sound different, it's because we're both being recorded over Zoom. Um, but I wanted to get something out because it's been a goddamn month, and it's been very hectic, and I wanted to get back to this because this actually makes me happy. And my basement being flooded and ruined and destroyed has not been great. Thanks, you fucking piece of shit pipe that burst. Um, Good news, insurance is taking care of it all, and we're gonna get it all retake. Like nothing really got destroyed. A bookshelf got ruined. Some other miscellaneous worthless shit got ruined, but nothing of any. The comic books and the baseball cards are okay, is what I'm saying.
Colonial plumbing.
Yeah, and then, well, actually, it wasn't. It was a newer pipe.
Oh
We
well,
had we had this pipe put in like less than 15 years ago, I think. Whenever we redid the basement, it
they don't
was
make
the
pipes
pipe.
like they used to.
Yeah, it was a pipe that went out to the front of the house so you could water your plants. And what was happening was every time Leanna watered the plants, the pipe would leak, which makes no sense to me because you would think under pressure the pipe would just leak all the time. But a plumbing friend, told me what the problem was, and I was like, okay. But then, because I was telling him after the fact, and he was like, "Oh, the reason that happens is because blah." And I'm like, "All right, that still doesn't make any sense to me, but whatever." But we had a guy repoint our steps, and he was there on Father's Day for like 4 hours. So the thing leaked for 4 hours. And when I went downstairs to grab a thing to cover our steps to let the cement dry, it was just flood. and then we're down there like
It
trying
was like the
to.
it was like the garbage scene in Star Wars where you're just me.
Yeah, no, exactly. And we're trying, we're picking stuff up and moving it to the back of the basement because that wasn't flooded yet.
And for some
And
reason, there's an octopus.
yeah, and then there's like fucking a kraken. Leanna's vacuuming the fucking water out. It's not really stopping, and we're like, all right, there's clearly something going on. And I just asked her to turn the vacuum off for a second because we had to uh, empty out the shop vac. And all of a sudden, I just heard. I was just in the right spot to hear it. If I'd have been anywhere else in the fucking part of the basement, I wouldn't heard that little hiss. And sure shit, I opened the door that accesses that little pipe, and fucking water just starts spraying in my face. And I was like, okay, god damn it,
I don't mean to
there,
laugh at
there.
your misfortune,
No,
but
it's funny as shit. Like well, I started laughing because I was like, at least we found it. Like, and there was a shutoff valve, thank goodness, so it didn't get any worse. So she was vacuuming while Crosby and I were moving shit around like maniacs. And anyway, yeah, the insurance is taking care of it. We got a company. They came in, boxed everything up, took it to a storage unit, which was really nice. And then they ripped all my wood floor out of my basement because that all buckled like a fucking fun house. And then they ripped out like 2 feet of drywall from the bottom. So they're going to replace that, put in new floors, bring the stuff back. They won't unpack it for us, but it's fine.
yeah, now's a
And
chance to
then
reorganize, I guess.
that's exactly what we're doing. We're going to remove everything around. So next time you see me in the basement, I'm not going to be facing towards the window. I'll be facing the opposite way, so you have a different view of me. As you can see, I'm in my wife's office on our second floor
Last guitar storage room.
/ guitars. Yeah, this is where all my guitars are because I was like, the guitars aren't going into fucking storage. Fuck that shit.
Yeah, no, I don't blame
I
you.
got too many of them, and I don't trust them to get moved.
Don't blame you.
Yeah, and what's funny is like, okay, so I got like about 20 guitars, and like, let's say 15 of them are just trash. Like most of them aren't even good, but it's just sentimental value. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Sure, yeah.
just that kind of thing. Anyway, so sorry everybody, but them's the breaks, and everything's semi good right now. At least this is working, and let's get into the actual episode, which is we're just gonna bullshit. I wanted to just do a little catch up since we've been out for a month. Next week we'll come back with probably a food news episode or a topic. I don't know, but we'll see. Okay, let's start with the big thing. It's tomorrow is 4th of July.
Uh-huh.
Right? What are you making?
Eve of the apocalypse. Yeah.
Yeah, is that what it is?
Yeah.
Is your neighborhood big fireworks?
They are, but we won't be in the neighborhood. We'll be about 2 hours north of here at a lake
Oh, nice.
with my wife's family because
That's sweet.
apparently her cousin's uncle or something like that is the harbor master at a sailing club on a lake. Sounds way fancier than it actually is.
Yeah,
It's more of
pretty
a
cool.
like a state park marina situation,
Yeah,
but
it's pretty
but
cool.
they have free run of the pavilion and all that stuff on the property. So I've never been out there before, but it's apparently been a thing they've been doing for a while, and I just never found myself out there. But yeah, that's gonna be the thing. They're gonna there's a big grill and stuff like that, and
Are you
everybody's
going to be making any
something.
food?
Do it.
Are you going to be making any food?
Yeah, actually. Tomorrow morning I'm gonna get up and before we leave, and I'm making a smoked queso,
Nice.
and I'm doing a avocado salsa verde,
Okay.
and just bringing chips and just stuff to snackies.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But yeah, I'm gonna put all that together. The smoked queso, I'll put it all together and put it on my Weber and let it rip.
Oh, that's cool.
Yep.
So you're gonna smoke queso and then salsa verde and what else?
We're just bringing chips and
Oh, okay, yeah, yeah,
Mike's making spinach dip, and we're bringing some other just dippy, snacky
yeah.
stuff.
Fun snacky stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
cool. I don't have a goddamn thing going on. This is the first fucking year in forever that we were just like, you know what? I'm good. I think they might go try to find a place to see the fireworks because on our rooftop deck you can usually see them, but there's a tree that's grown over the years, and now you can't see downtown to see the good like line of view. So
Oh,
that kind of stinks. But I mean, I'm kind of over fireworks at this point. Like I've seen them. I'm good. Uh, my dog hates them, so
that tracks. Yeah,
she'll be
most
fucking
dogs are.
cowering. It's weird. I was trying to explain this to somebody. She wasn't bad with them until I think around COVID because it was like 4th of July for like a month and a half, 2 months
Got
almost.
it. Yeah,
You know what I mean? Like I
too
don't know what
much.
happened during COVID. Like people were just fucking blowing shit up all the time.
I
And
mean,
which is weird because I haven't heard a goddamn firework go off in the last 2 weeks.
normally around here, because we're semi-rural, and we have fireworks stands all over the place around us, and they open
Mm.
on July 1st. And normally from July 1st until, I don't know, maybe the 15th, it's July 4th every night.
Yeah, I mean, we've had we don't have fireworks here in Maryland, so you got to go up to the Pennsylvania line, and like as soon as you go over the Pennsylvania line, there's a fucking giant phantom fireworks.
Oh yeah,
And you
yeah,
go giant warehouse and shopping for fireworks is super weird when you're not used to it. But yeah, like normally because there's a park right next to us, there's people going to the park and fucking blow all kind of shit up, and or just like shoot shit off the roofs, which I'm like, your roof's made out of fucking wood, you idiot. Like,
yeah.
but
Not safe, but yeah.
yeah, it's like when people start grilling on their roofs, which is fucking really stupid, which has happened, and they burned their house down here a couple times around. But yeah, no fireworks. I'm gonna cook something. I don't know what. I was at a farm stand today, and I was like, man, like they had some boxes of seconds tomatoes, and I was like, ooh, maybe I can like do some sauce or maybe some oven dried tomatoes, which I love. But again, that's like a project thing. Like it's hours and
Right,
hours.
right, right.
Like I only have one day off. It's not like I got 3 days off, including the weekend. But it's not like I got a week to just be like, what's the
Yeah,
longest project I can think
yeah.
of?
I'm over here
Um,
lamenting about having a fucking week off. But I remember, not everybody works for schools.
yeah.
So they
Um,
have a regular working people schedule.
uh, and so on my time off of doing the podcast, I've made ribs, I've made brisket, I've made flank steak, I've made regular steaks. I think I made pulled chicken. I've made all kind of shit, and I'm just kind of like, I don't know, like nothing seems like worth the time. I don't know. Tell me what I should make.
Oh man. Um, Pulled pork.
Yeah, see that? Yeah, I was thinking about that. I made pulled chicken for Crosby's graduation because we had a big potluck. And I made a fucking huge mess of pulled chicken, and that was fun. And I did that all in the instant pot because I was like, I'm not doing that on the grill because it's too hot. And but it comes out really good if you do it right with just the right amount of liquid.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
Yeah, we do that pretty regular for like an easy weeknight kind of thing.
yeah, and I did make my own barbecue sauce just to make myself feel better. But of course, I think it was okay. So I think it was a Wednesday night. Oh, it was my birthday. So we went out for my birthday, went to a
Mhm.
friend's restaurant, had some delicious smash burgers and pizzas. Um, shout out to the Dive, Jesse Sandlin's place. She'll come up again when I talk about my Father's Day restaurant. She owns 3 restaurants. I went to 2 of them that week. The Dive is really cool. It's literally just old dive bar that they all the glasses are like old like Burger King glasses. So it's like the Smurfs or
Oh, I
Return of
have a
the
whole ass collection of that
yeah
stuff.
Return of the Jedi or
I have the McDonald's.
yeah
Yeah, I have like Mac the Knife or Mac the Knight and Hamburglar and Mayor McCheese and
exactly.
yeah,
And then they just have like
just dumb nostalgic shit.
kind of chefy upscaled. Like their wings are amazing. Their pizzas are really good. Their smash burgers are awesome. They do some really good, um, big fluffy chicharrones that
Mm.
come with their house ranch, and it's so fucking good. They sprinkle some sort of magic dust on the
Yeah, that's
chicharrones.
the big uh social media trend shit. I don't know if you see that there or not, but down here is going into the local carniceria and getting their fresh made chicharron and their house made guacamole thing, and they just
Oh,
jam a whole hunk of that chicharron and just the guacamole and just go at it.
sounds awesome.
Yeah, it sounds really
There's
good. I haven't done. And literally, I've had 5 carnicerias in like 10 miles from me. I just haven't done it yet.
there's nobody around here that does fret. Well, I'm not gonna say that because there's taquerias that do chicharron tacos, but I don't. There's no place I know of that you can just order fresh chicharrones.
Yeah, these the carniceria. I mean, they're obviously they just take the whole chunk of fat
Mm-hmm.
skin and fry it until it's crispy and cut it up into strips. Um, the taquerias around me, the chicharrones are always stewed in like salsa verde, so they're the sort of the collagen-y, gelatinous,
Oh, like cueritos.
yeah, version of
Yeah,
that, and those are amazing too.
yeah, I love those.
It's the you could walk into any carniceria around, they have a case, like a warming case that literally just has slabs of fried pig skin and window,
Holy
and
shit!
you just order it by the pound.
I want that so bad. I think I'm gonna go try to find that tomorrow. Um, I was also entertaining. So yeah, I made all that shit, and I'm just going through like kind of the stuff that I made. I made ribs, and they were really good. Kind of started them on the grill, and then went to the oven, and that worked out really well. Actually, no, I did those all on the grill, and those were really good. Smoked them for a few hours, and then wrapped them, and
Yeah.
Texas crutched them for a couple hours, and then
Yep.
they hit, and they were soft, and they weren't mushy. I was really proud of those ribs. I made brisket, and I was taught you were trying to give me pointers throughout that, and that was not as successful.
Well,
Because
dude,
it
cooking a
looked good.
flat
Yeah,
from like nothing is that's difficult
yeah.
because that is the leanest part of that cut.
So where do you think I went wrong? If it was like it wasn't inedible, it was just not soft. Like
um,
it had a lot of liquid. It just didn't. I just don't think I let it go
I
long
think it
enough.
was you lacked the fat component
Right.
versus just moisture because I think it turned into almost a braise at some point because the flat has so little intramuscular fat unless you have a really prime like first class like hunk of brisket.
Hmm.
Like the flat is the hardest part to cook right because there's so little intramuscular fat. It's almost like a round. It's almost like a London broil. If
So
you
then you think I overcooked it?
uh, not necessarily. I think
Because I didn't take it to 110. I took it to whatever you said to take it to 105 or something. Like
I no
I don't remember what you told me to take it to, but it was lower than what I was going to go for, and
yeah,
I
no,
I took it to that.
because yeah, we were talking in terms of like at first I was talking to you in terms of like a whole brisket. So
Yeah,
I was in that mindset. Um, but a flat is almost one of the things that would benefit from just giving it a good fat hit of smoke and then wrapping it and throw it in the oven, which
Mm.
is kind of what you
Well, that's
did.
what That's what I did.
But I
Yeah,
think
that is what I
maybe a
did.
little less time on the smoke and a little more time in the oven, just on a lower temp.
And then I let it cool in the oven, which maybe
Yeah,
was probably not a great idea. Maybe it was just too hot.
maybe
But
so.
you know,
Because you lose the moisture that way because it's just there's no fat.
no, I didn't. No, I didn't. No, I pulled it out. I pulled it out and let it cool, and then I reheated it the next day because by the time it was done, it was like fucking 1 in the morning or something like that.
Yeah, no, I mean a flat like that, if you smoke it good, that is prime territory for doing chopped beef.
Yeah.
That's any barbecue place you ever go to and they serve a chopped beef, they're using the offcuts from their line.
Okay.
They're taking the shitty dry parts of the brisket and just whacking it down into like nuggets and then mix it with
Sure.
a bunch of sauce and then they whack it on a bun and charge you $7 for it. And
Well, I had a ton of like juice and stuff left over that I jarred, and then you know Crosby and Leanna went to Leanna's parents for the week for vacation and I couldn't do it because I had to work.
yeah.
Um, so we had the brisket that night. It was fine. It wasn't as tender as I wanted it to be. The next day, I heated it up and just had some brisket sandwiches. And I was like, okay, I'm already fucking tired of this thing. And I got 6 pounds of it left, basically. Um, so I waited, and then I chopped it up into pieces and threw it in the Instant Pot, dumped all that juice back in, and then just braised it until it fell apart, and then made tacos the other night. It was
Hey,
fucking awesome. No, I
it's
saved it,
that's borderline barbacoa, you
but
know.
they were loving it. I was loving it too. So what I did was, I just added some extra, like typical garlic, onion, chili powder, coriander, cumin,
Like taco
uh,
season.
yeah,
Oh
Mexican
man.
oregano, that kind of shit. Yeah,
Yeah.
and then braised, instant potted it for like an hour, let it cool down, strained all the stuff out, mashed it up, put all the juice back into it, let it sit. Well, no, I mashed it up in the liquid because I wanted to soak up as much as it could. And then while the stuff was cooking, I pickled some red onions with jalapenos, and then I made a salsa verde out of some fresh green tomatoes that I bought at a farm stand, and it was fucking delightful. It was really good.
I, I've never made a salsa verde with green tomatoes. I
It
usually
worked
do
out fucking
tomatillo.
perfect, dude.
They're just as acidic and
Yeah, I did the same thing. You just take your
similar texture.
onions and
They just they're
jalapenos
not
and
sticky.
yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Because
you don't have to wash
tomatillos are
them off.
so sticky.
Yeah, yeah, that stuff gets so
When you get
sticky.
them when they're not pre shucked.
Yeah, but yeah, you just put them in the oven and broil them till they're kind of burnt, and then pulse them up, and you're good. But
Yeah,
yeah, it
that's what I'm
was.
gonna do with the salsa tomorrow. I gotta me being the Aldi fanboy
Mm,
found a flat of tomatillos. They're probably about most of them are about the size of like a pool ball,
okay,
and it was
so
literally
relatively
like
big.
10 or 12 of them that were pre-shucked and rinsed,
Huh.
wrapped in a package for $1.89.
Holy shit! Wow.
And I got a package of jalapenos there. Again, same thing, pre-cleaned, massive fucking jalapenos. These things were like, I mean, 4 or 5 inches long.
Mm,
These are big jalapenos. $1.29.
nice.
So I'm gonna bust those up and throw them on the Weber too, and smoke off the tomatillos and the jalapenos and the onion and stuff, and that's what I'm gonna use for the salsa. And
Nice.
I like to throw some avocado in it just to give it a little body.
I love, yeah, avocado really sort of I don't know what it does to it, but it really kind of creams it up a little bit, adds a little bit more.
It's a good binder. It just
Yeah,
so
it really
sort of
is.
brings everything together,
Yeah, it kind of emulsifies
mellows
everything.
it out.
Hmm.
It's almost like mayonnaise.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So did that, saved that fucking thing, and but yeah, I've been having a really hard time trying to be like, all right, what am I gonna do this weekend? Maybe I won't do anything. Maybe I'll do everything. I don't know. The world is my oyster, Soren.
I'm scared to eat oysters here, frankly, but
Oh yeah, I don't blame you. Made pizza last night. That was pretty cool. Just
yeah.
impromptu fucking weeknight pizza. You know, I've got a really good like weeknight pizza dough recipe going where
Okay.
basically I buy a pre-made, squishy dough and
Mhm.
use that as like a poolish or a biga if you understand
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
bread making terms.
Mhm.
Um,
I can't do
and
it to save my soul, but I know the terminology.
well, I was that was more for the people listening than you. I figured you knew what it was. Um, I use that as the beginning and then just have a regular. I think I use the Food Labs 2 hour pizza dough recipe, and then I
Okay.
just
Yeah.
put it in a stand mixer, add the liquid, let the old pizza dough get mixed into the liquid, and then add my flour and all the other stuff.
Sure.
Um, and just let it sit for 2 hours. And like the one thing I've learned about bread over the last year, and it's a relatively new thing that I've been seeing a lot of people do, is instead of just letting it sit, like every 15 minutes you kind of fold it. Like you kind of pick pieces up and fold it over itself, like a flower almost, like
Okay.
you're tucking, like you're making a bindle, like you're a hobo. Like grab one side and the other side, and then turn it, and the other two sides. You're just kind of folding it over on itself every 15 minutes, and then every 30 minutes. But it helps to stretch the gluten after it relaxes,
Build
because
some structure.
yeah, and because anybody that's tried to make dough, after a bit, it just doesn't want to move anymore. It won't
Yeah.
move.
Yeah. Yeah.
So after 15 minutes, it relaxes.
The
You kind of,
glutinous left the chat.
yeah. It's like fuck you, I'm done. I'm glued it out. And then after 15 minutes, it's relaxed again. And you can move it. So you're kind of building it up on itself, and it really provides a good structure for the gas that's being released to trap.
Making
Um,
little air pockets.
yeah, so after 2 hours, it was like, fucking, let's do it. So I had gone to the farmer's market on Sunday and bought a thing of fresh wild, not wild, but it's just a mushroom assortment.
Uh,
So I took half of them and cooked them with some shallot and deglazed with some brandy and bourbon because I didn't have enough of either. So it was just enough to get like a quarter of a cup.
hey,
Uh, and then I blended it with some cream, and I used that as the base for the pizza. Then mozzarella, and then the the rest of the chopped up mushrooms on top. And that was really
took the
fucking
second half of the mushrooms and stared at the stove for 4 hours.
yes. This is gonna be your fate, you fucks. Um, and then hit it with some chopped up shit. What is it called? Spring onion at the end. So
Oh, okay.
it was really good. And then because I know Crosby's not a fan of mushroom, even though I thought he would like this pizza, I just did like just a hot sausage, you know, cheese pizza with pesto base. So instead of tomato sauce, just pesto, tomato cheese. I mean pesto, cheese, sausage, and then chopped up onion.
That sounds outstanding.
They're they're both great. Crosby took one bite of the mushroom people pizza and was like, "Yeah, I'm good. Can I get another slice of the sausage?" I was
Mushroom
like,
people.
fine.
The
Yeah.
the pizza of a down. Uh, yeah, my youngest brother hates mushrooms, and the fact that we haven't actually disowned him at this point is it's like mind-boggling to me.
A lot
Because
of people
every
don't.
Christmas, my mom makes these uh, sausage and herb stuffed mushrooms with a bunch of ricotta and parmesan and stuff,
Oh hell yeah.
and he won't touch them. And I'm like, bro,
Mhm.
are
You're
you?
fucking crazy.
If you didn't look just like Dad, I would think you were probably a product of the milkman or the mailman or something. Because we don't hate on mushrooms in this house, sir.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. He's just like the only ones he really likes are shiitakes. Like he loves pickled shiitakes, weirdly enough. Like when I make ramen and I have leftover spent dried shiitake mushrooms for making like the ramen stock, there's nothing to do when they got a flavor, but you can pickle them. And once you pickle them, they're really good. But he loves those, and I'm like, that texture is way more offensive than an actual mushroom because it's a mushroom that's been dried out, reconstituted, had
And then
all of its flavor taken out of it, and then just a different flavor put back in. And honestly, it's kind of like eating like an ear. You know what I mean? Like
a
it's been
little,
cooked. It's
little
been
cartilaginous.
no, it's just like soft and cold. And I mean, well, not really, because when I put them in the ramen, they're warm. But like, it's not. He doesn't like the texture of regular mushrooms, which okay.
Yeah, that sounds like my brother. He's
But
like,
this is like a little chewier, and I'm like, okay, well, I guess it's just a flavor thing too. I don't know. Loves
I guess,
truffles though.
we as a family, we all have our me
Oh
and my siblings, we all have our
yeah, everybody's got.
idiosyncrasies.
Yeah,
I hate olives, and
I did. I did hit the mushroom pizza with truffle oil.
oh, okay,
Yeah, yeah. I found actual real truffle oil on sale. It was like $20 a bottle. It was on sale for $9. I was like, hell yeah!
real truffle, yeah.
And it's
'Cause
a little
all these
fucking
damn
bottle.
cooking competition shows, fucking truffle oil is always like the coffin nail for their
Yeah,
pain. Like,
truffle oil is
all the
so
chefs are like, I hate
overpaid.
truffle oil.
Yeah, it sucks. It's only good. There's a place near us that they do truffle fries just across the board. So it's like garlic and parmesan and truffle oil and like oregano, and they're fucking delicious. And that's about as far as I like to have truffle oil in anything. But I figured well, mainly for Carl's because he likes truffle oil. I was like, okay, well, I'll get it for the pizza just to kind of punch in the flavor there.
Sure, yeah.
So I liked it. Fuck it, Leanna liked them. So we're just getting rid of the boy. He can't live here anymore. Fuck it.
I don't honestly think I've had anything uh, that had actual truffle in it in my life.
Oh, it's like night and day. It does. I mean, actual truffle tastes like God's balls. It's so good. I mean, seriously, real truffles. Like when I was in culinary school, we got a fucking thing of them, and we were just sitting there eating them. Like, oh my god, this is what it's like. I was
Fucking shit. This is like teabagging Jesus.
yeah, like or Jesus teabagging me.
Yeah.
Like uh, the the one place I worked at when I was a teenager, my chef would only he was the only one that was allowed to handle the truffles because he didn't trust anybody. And he didn't even have like he had like the really good shit for the really expensive thing where he would just do a couple little shaves. But
Sure.
then he just had canned ones, and canned truffles taste amazing too. But they're canned, they're shipped in water and stuff, so they're a little,
Yeah, yeah. But
and they're cooked a little bit. I think um, they're probably pasteurized.
yeah, and they
Um,
can. Yeah.
yeah, but those taste amazing too. Like, yeah, fucking fresh truffle is unbelievable. Like
That I
there's
really need to
nothing. It's
figure
really
out.
one of those things that like you can't describe it until you try it, and then you're like, holy shit!
Yeah,
Like this
I
is
need
what
to
it
be
is.
able to find some place where I can find my reference level for that because
Yeah, and it just stinks because they're so fucking expensive.
yeah, and
Like that's the issue.
I live in a literal hellscape in Texas where, you know, if it's not made of beef, it's not readily available. Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh,
Well, I mean, I don't think there's a lot of fresh truffle around here. Like, I mean, most of it you kind of got to
without
import
having some
from Italy
serious
and stuff.
connections.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Like
I
I
got
know
the
there's
truck plug.
there's a couple places I know that you can buy them online, and there's a tons of places you can buy them in canned, and that's fine. But yeah. So I struck out with the pizza with the boy, but the other pizza he demolished. So I'm like, all right, that's fine.
I mean, a win's a win.
Yeah, 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 yeah. I mean, he's a human garbage disposal, so it's hard, you know. Yeah, I just assume he's going to be like, hell yeah, food. And when he's not, I'm like, oh,
No,
that's interesting.
yeah, I have the same problem here. It's like if we make, so since my daughter graduated, she's been spending a bunch of time at her mom's house. So we've been back to, and my son during the day normally goes to my parents' house um, to help out around there, because they're older, they can't, there's stuff they can't do, and he's
Mhm.
a young, spry,
Yeah.
and so we've been finding ourselves in a position that we're cooking for two, and
Oh.
yes, so but we don't know how to do that. Neither of us know how to cook for two people.
Yeah.
So
You're
we just cook a
preaching to the
normal
choir. Yeah.
meal and we pray when Nate gets home, he's like, hell yeah, leftovers. And so normally that's how that goes. It's like we'll cook enough food for three people and then it disappears overnight,
Yeah.
like magic.
Yeah. The
Yeah,
the gremlin eats it, right?
yeah. We made we had meatloaf last night and the last hunk of that disappeared overnight. And
Yeah. Ooh, meatloaf. Well, that's not really a very
I'm you've got it in my head too, because I've listened to you talk about how you make meatloaf about 19 times,
okay.
and with your panade and all your food processor activities, and
Yeah.
I'm over here making meatloaf. I'm like, I feel like an absolute fucking uh, just like a peon. I was like,
Why?
here's some ground beef and some lightly sautéed onion and some seasonings and an egg and some panko. There we go.
There, that's
Meatloaf.
meatloaf. Yeah.
And then my wife has this
Instead of I mean,
recipe
if you.
for the meatloaf sauce she does,
Oh, okay.
and it's unmatched in my opinion. Uh,
Mhm.
that's the key. Uh, that makes the whole meatloaf experience worthwhile. I do the work. She hates mixing raw meat and
Mhm.
stuff, so I'm always the
Yeah.
guy who like puts together the farce, and she can't stand touching like raw meat. And then she does the back end of it, where the cooking and the sauce and everything like that. And I can't duplicate that. I've tried. I can't do it. And but yeah, but your meatloaf is sounds
All
uh
you gotta
like I
do,
want to try it.
yeah, all you gotta do, just instead of like, if you're adding panko, all you gotta do is soak it in a little bit of milk, and then you got a panade.
Huh.
All a panade is bread that's been soaked in milk. That's all it
Okay,
is.
well, I know you're always
Or stock.
you break down all your veggies and
Well, yeah, I put all the veggies in a mixer. I mean, in a blender, and just kind of that way I don't have to chop it up finely with my knife.
yeah,
You
it's a
know,
pain in the ass.
you don't have giant chunks of carrot and stuff in your meatloaf.
Sure.
But
I feel like
you
that would
gotta
bring definitely some added flavor to it, though. Just
the
and maybe loosen up the texture a little bit.
yeah. I also like nuts and like you know uh prunes chopped up in my meatloaf is really good. Or I'll blend in some uh chicken livers, which are really good. It
I
makes
love
it it weirdly makes it like it becomes like a paste when you blend them, and then you
yeah, it
just add
becomes
it into the
uh,
meat.
verging on a pate or a terrine.
Yeah, kind of like it kind of adds this silkiness to the meatloaf.
Oh yeah,
That's
it's because it's all just unctuous umami.
right.
It's like liquid love. Oh,
And I don't glaze mine. Sometimes I do. It depends on what Leanna wants, because normally I don't like it glazed. I like to have the sauce on the side in case I want to just dip, but to each its own.
yeah, I grew up on poor kid meatloaf. It was literally
Oh, me
ground
too.
beef,
Mostly covered
breadcrumbs,
in
and
covered
just
in
ketchup.
ketchup.
Yeah, which I will still smash all
Oh,
day
hell yeah.
long.
Yeah. You got to really fuck
Sandwich
up
out of it.
meatloaf to make bad meatloaf. You know what I mean? Like, and people do it
I
all
think
the
that's
time,
one of
but
those. Yeah, it's one of those open source recipes. It's like
yeah.
everybody has their own idea for it, and
I think now it's hard to fuck up meatloaf just because there's so many recipes for it.
Mhm.
If you've never made one, you're like, all right, well, I'll look up a good recipe, hopefully. I'll watch a video about it for like 10 minutes at
Yeah,
least. And then
and then
you
you just
just
kind
figure
of
it out.
brainstorm it and figure out. I'm going to take the elements from this and this guy and this guy
Hmm.
and compound it together to make your platonic ideal meatloaf.
Yeah, I love a fucking meatloaf sandwich, man. God damn.
Yeah, meatloaf and mashed potatoes, man. That's
Yeah,
oh,
yeah, fucking gravy. Yeah, I'm on it. Uh, I'm also thinking maybe hot dogs. There's a place that I can drive to tomorrow and probably pick up some pretty righteous hot dogs. They do like German style, either footlongers or regulars or little guys, and everything they make is delicious. I've talked about them before. They're called
yeah, yeah,
Junkers.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
We talked about the hot dog episode.
yeah.
Yep.
I was thinking about going up there and just getting a bunch of shit like
God, I wish you could figure out how to
big.
shit to me.
You could probably call them up and they'd ship it. I think they probably ship. I couldn't imagine why not, because they a lot of that stuff they vacuum pack. So when you buy it, like when you buy a lot of
Yeah,
the
throw it in a styrofoam container with some cold packs.
yeah, yeah. I mean, shit, you can get crab cakes here shipped around the country.
Oh yeah, yeah,
There's a
yeah.
place called Box Hill Crab Cakes and Coco's.
Huh.
Coco's makes fucking delicious crab cakes. But yeah, it's expensive as fuck because the crab cakes are expensive to begin with, but then to get it shipped in time
Right.
so they don't,
Yeah.
but it's like, well shit, that's what Gold Belly is, right? Like,
Yeah, yeah.
god damn, have you ever been on that website?
I have not, but I've listened to a lot of people talk about it,
Yeah,
and
if you want to be really bummed out, go on their website.
yeah, I'm like, I'm no, I'm not Jay-Z, so
What do you mean $125 for Lou Malnati's deep dish pizza? Fuck you. Like,
I know Franklin Barbecue down here.
Franklin does sell
He
at
does that shit too. And the fucking brisket, he's the $200 brisket.
it's nuts. How much? Like, if you go there, how much?
Cooking
I mean,
instructions.
probably expensive, right?
Do what?
How much is Franklin if you like by the pound?
Oh,
If you go
well,
there,
yeah. I've never actually been there, but I've done a lot of, obviously watching content creators,
yeah,
go there, and I mean, to get a full platter of just kind of all the things, because they only offer three sides.
right.
Uh, but if you get a platter that has all the heavy hitters on it, the brisket, the beef rib, the pork rib, sausage, it's 250, $300.
Holy shit!
Yeah, because it's all
Wow.
by the pound.
Yeah. Jesus Christ.
Yeah,
That's expensive.
yeah. No, then that's a thing with the very very popular Texas barbecue places
They
is
can do
they
it.
know it and
Yeah.
people will pay for it.
That's fucking awesome. Good for them.
Yeah,
He
so I
seems
actually just
he
watched a
seems like
video
a nice
today,
dude.
um, because that's what I do because
Yeah.
I'm a loser. I just watch a bunch of YouTube videos. But so there's a dude. Uh, he has a channel called Gulf Coast Smoke, and he's a
Okay.
competition cook. But the competition season right now is sort of like hit and miss. So he's been going to a bunch of the uh, Texas Monthly Top 50 joints
Oh, okay.
here in the last few months, and he always invites another restaurant's cook with him to go try their food. And he just did one that I watched today. There's a place in Seguin, Texas called Burnt Bean Barbecue Company, and they are
Yeah.
the number one barbecue joint on the Texas Monthly Top 50. They also have a James Beard Award,
Jesus.
and they've been nodded by Michelin. Uh, and they went there, and the tray he bought to share with like 4 or 5 people was almost $400.
God damn, from Franklin?
No, from
Oh,
Burnt
from
Bean
another.
Barbecue
Oh,
Company.
from Burnt Bean. I got you.
Yeah, he said it was like $380, and this is
God damn.
basically a tray of all the meats, and then
But that's not
4 or
like a
5
tray that a
different
normal
sides.
person would get, right? Like that's like I'm feeding 5 or 6 people.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
I guess
Okay.
if you think about it, if you chop it up, between 4 or 5 people, it breaks down to kind of a fancy night out dinner.
Right. Right. It's interesting.
But yeah, it's bananas how expensive uh the high end or well no, not high end, I guess the more highly recognized barbecue joints.
Right. Yeah.
Because you're paying, $20 a pound for brisket.
Yeah. Well, fuck. Goodness. Well, on that, I'm still undecided. I'm gonna try to figure something out. I'll let you know tomorrow if I
All right.
can. I'll be like, hey, check out what I'm making. Uh, and I'll probably put it out on uh the the Facebook page and the Blue Sky app. Uh, and speaking of which, uh, join the Facebook group or join me on the Blue Sky app. I'm at Rude Cooking School, and Rude Cooking School on Facebook. Join us. We have a bunch of fucking fun. It's really stupid. Um, we just post memes and requests and pictures of our food and what we're eating and where we're eating at and what we're doing. Uh, and it's actually the only place on the internet that I actually kind of have a really good time interacting with people.
Oh, for sure. Like 90% of the time, like, what's going on in Rude today? Because the rest of Facebook is a cesspool. So
Yes, I agree.
that is my safe space.
Well, all right, man. Good luck tomorrow doing your stuff.
Thanks.
And have a
Oh,
good.
real
Yeah,
quick
oh,
sidebar.
Yeah. Go for
We
it.
talked about the I sent you a picture of the snack find I had today.
Oh yeah,
So
tell them about it.
yeah, we were grocery shopping, and I found Pringles is doing a cross promotion with Miller Lite,
Oh,
and they had a can of beer brat flavored Pringles, and I tried them.
okay.
They actually don't suck,
Okay.
but they don't taste like brats as much as they taste like the onion component, like the chewed down onions and the butter.
Mhm. All the stuff at the bottom of the tray.
If you changed the label and told me they were a completely different flavor, I'd be like, great, cool. I'll put these on a sandwich. They were actually good.
Oh, that's good.
The branding was not great because they didn't
Right.
Miller Lite or a bratwurst.
Yeah, I don't want it. I don't want my fucking.
But no, they taste like
It's like
butter sauteed onion Pringles.
Okay, well, if I see them, I'm gonna try them.
Yeah, and it's like one of those dumb, almost, one of those. I was like, oh, we're gonna do we're gonna talk about food tonight. But look at this guy. I have to try it. I did, and they didn't suck. So
Cool,
if you
man.
find them, give them a shot.
Do it. All right. Well, thanks everybody for listening to the Rude Cooking School podcast. If you can, give us a like or a subscribe somewhere, anywhere. iTunes weirdly still holds a very big chokehold on that kind of thing. So if you are part of iTunes still, give us a rate and a review. That would appreciate it. Otherwise, just tell everybody about the podcast. Word of mouth is how we get around. We don't pay for advertising. And yeah, thanks, Sweden. I saw how our numbers have been over the month. Sweden.
Really?
Who'd have thought? Yeah, really weird.
Maybe it's because my name is Soren.
Maybe. It pops up from different places. Sometimes it's Australia, sometimes it's England. England's pretty steady, actually.
I blame
Sometimes
JJ.
Yeah, it's definitely JJ. Like that's all JJ. So yeah. Anyway, thank you for listening. We'll talk to you later. My name was John Hauser III.
And my name was Saucy Soren Marquardt.
Nice. Garbage everything and don't yuck my yum. See you guys later. Peace.